You're right, right. I think the personnel will be a little different. Storm Warren did not play in the first meeting, and he's played well over the last couple of games that he's been back. I think he's pretty healthy right now. Ralston Turner, his first game back was our game back for SEC, so he's got some more game experience, and obviously anytime you get on the floor and you've got the reps, I think it helps with your timing and everything. So certainly they'll be a little bit of a different team. Looking back on the first time we played them, I think probably some changes that we can expect from them based on how we played the first game. You look at the numbers. What stands out is the turnovers. Obviously, we were able to force a substantial amount of turnovers, and then we also we were able to get on the glass and get 20 offensive rebounds, which obviously made a difference in the game. So, those are probably the things that stand out.
Coach, how about Tony Mitchell, 4 straight games, 20 points? Is he a guy that you're looking for more, or has he just stepped up his game that much more?
I think the thing we've always said about Tony is he's got the ability to make plays, and I think that's what he's doing, obviously, taking advantage of the opportunities that are there, getting out in transition, and I think, with every game, getting more and more comfortable with what he can do on the floor and the way he can impact the game.
What are the biggest differences you're seeing in him from last year to this year, Tony?
Well, I think a lot of times you hear coaches say guys make big jumps between their freshman and sophomore year, and I think Tony got great experience last year as a freshman. We got to remember he was one of the league's top freshmen last year in a league that was somewhat dominated by freshmen, when you really look back at last year. So I think that experience, the maturity, understanding, 2 years in the system, just his growth, I think is paying dividends for him. And there's a lot of talk with the scoring he's had over the last 4 games, but I think he's rebounded the ball consistently for us. There's been times over the course of the year where he's led us several other occasions. So I think he's having a very good sophomore season.
Seems kind of quiet when he comes around here. Is he more boisterous when he's out there with his teammates? What's his personality?
We have a saying, Tony's Tony. Tony's Tony. So, yeah, he's got a personality. He's a guy that will be Tony.
Coach Michael's been another guy that's been pretty consistent, certainly during SEC play. Just talk about his game and how he's kind of been not Tony's wingman, but you've had 2 solid scorers on the team.
Well, the thing I'm most pleased about JaMychal is I think he's developing into that leader that our team needs. And again, that to me goes in a lot of different areas other than scoring. So my focus is what impacts winning, and I think those guys are doing things on the floor, rebounding, defending, just doing the things that impact winning, which is what I'm most pleased about.
You said before the season that last year felt like you had 13 freshmen. So how have things been different this year?
Well, I think our team has grown over the course of the year. And I felt like we were making some strides last year, and obviously anytime you have a year under your belt, I think that helps. So, we're in the middle of it, so I'm not in a position where I can sit back and reflect. We still got a long way to go.
But the manner they seem to be playing as a team, they seem to have bought into your system. You can at least kind of judge how far they've come in that regard.
Well, I think we've made improvements, but again, we go game to game in this league. You better stay focused on today. You can't look in the past, can't look into the future. You got to focus on today. So I think we're still a work in progress. Hopefully, we'll continue to get better as a team and continue to grow.
Phil, we're 7-6 in November and December. You're 9-2 in January and February. Andrew Steele came back at the 1st of January. Is that a coincidence?
Well, I think Andrew's been a big addition for us. The thing we've always talked about with Andrew is his basketball IQ and just his understanding of the game. He impacts winning. Another guy that does things a lot like we talk about with several of our guys that may not necessarily show up in the stat sheet, but just this understanding of timing of your offense, where the ball needs to go, understanding time score from a defensive standpoint, rotations, and being in position to make plays on the defensive end that need to be made. He understands those things, so it certainly helps.
What's his position right now? Is he small forward, shooting guard?
Small forward. Yeah, small forward.
But he seems very versatile for you to plug in.
Well, again, he can play. He's played, probably 2 through 4 for us. But yeah, he's probably a small forward if you want to slot him into a position.
What kind of leadership do you get from him?
Well, again, he's a guy to me that I think has the respect of everyone on the team, that brings it every day, that understands what his role is. So I think he's got great leadership qualities, and I think if you look at the way he communicates with his teammates on the floor, you can see those things.
Coach, with the perception, I don't know if your statistical self-study is reality. You shoot better, particularly with three-point shooting on there. That's something that was just kind of explanation for.
I think to call us a three-point shooting team would be a stretch. So my thing is I really don't. As long as we're taking good shots, that's really the only thing I really focus on, is making sure that we're playing to who we are, and as long as we're getting good ones, I don't mind the guys taking good shots that they can make and that are within the framework of what we do.
Just in general, how important is it in your mind to win the SEC West?
Say again?
How important is it to win the SEC West, just in your mind in general?
Well, that's one of the goals, obviously, that you have at the beginning of the year. Right now our focus is to try to beat LSU. So if we take care of today, everything else takes care of itself.
When you start talking to a team at the beginning of the year, though, where does that kind of fit in when you start saying, this is what we're aiming for?
I think every team has goals. My thing is the goal should be, let's get better every day. Let's take care of the basketball. Let's defend the right way. Let's do those things. And if you do those things, then everything else takes care of itself. So, we call that the process. So it's to me, it's more about that, staying in the present and not looking at that. If you take care of today and the things that you're supposed to do, then all those things, to me, seem to fall into place.
Let's talk about the transition game. You guys really attacked all these. How does that affect not only getting some easier shots on offense, but how does it help your defense? Is that kind of re-energize guys?
Well, we've been able to have success all year, I think, in transition, and obviously we've got the ability to be very explosive in transition, and certainly it helps our offense because we can create some easy baskets in transition, and then obviously allows us, from a defensive standpoint, to get into maybe our press or just to ignite and give energy to what we've got to do, on the defensive end, whether it be man zone, whatever defense we're in.
With that comes a lot of dunks. I know you guys out-dunk people 60-something to 10 or something like that. Is that a source of pride the team talks about?
Dunks?
Dunks.
No. No.
Even freer ones, did I talk about it?
I've never heard them talk about it. Maybe that's something you can ask them. It's never come up in practice. We never, no. At least not around me, they don't talk about it.
They don't practice them.
I wouldn't say, other than, what we get in practice.
On the kind of almost on the flip side of that, how much do you guys pride yourself on not giving up that kind of easy, instant points, just to make them work for everything?
Well, yeah, that's important. Obviously, you don't want to give up easy baskets. I think that one of the things that we've talked about is we've got to do a better job than we've done here lately in transition defense. We've not done what we've needed to do the last several games in transition, and I think it's hurt us a couple of times, or a couple of games here. So we've got to get better at that. But certainly, you want to try to get easy baskets and prevent your opponent from getting easy baskets.
Anything else?
I guess.